So what we want to do today is make this shelf look like this. Hello everyone, I'm B from Our Dream, Our Purpose. And what we're doing today is spend a little time in the shop. I got a little project I've been wanting to do forever, just putting it off. Gonna show you, maybe it'll motivate you to do something, to get out there and make something of something old, make it into something new. This is a cabinet I have here. I've had it for a period of time, not sure where it came from, to be perfectly honest. But I want to redo it, and what I want to use it for is, as I'm melting things, use all my tools, everything for that put in one place. So I want to use this cabinet for it. And here's one of the problems. It's got one shelf. Okay, yes, I can hang things off the door, but I got one shelf and that's it. So I want to look at adding different shelves in here. Now, I need to understand where I'm going to put them and how I'm going to put them, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. But to actually put shelves, to get shelves, to make shelves, to do that, we're going to recycle. What I mean by that is this right here. This is an old dryer, I believe is what it was. I actually, as you see me melting different things, some of the copper things I melt, I actually take the parts out of an old dryer we had we were going to throw out. I took the parts out of it so I could actually get the copper out of it. But I forgot to take this to the scrapyard. And as I was looking at it, the measurements of this allows me to use these sides for actually shelves inside. So we'll do that. I'll show you what I'm going to do, and then we'll go from there. All right? So when I look at this here and how I determine what I want to do, I've actually got sand that I actually use for some form, making different forms. I like to put those at the bottom. So these are the tubs I stored in. Fits in there, no problem like that. I'm actually going to put them side by side, but I'm also going to stack them too high. Gets it out of the way and things like that. So when I look at it, I need to be able to have the shelf where I can go in there, stack this nicely, and then have a shelf right above it. I don't need any room above that, really don't. I've measured it out. That's about 13.5 inches. To be able to put things inside, I'll probably go about 28, 29 inches up, put a shelf, and that way I'll be able to fit 2 tubs, then any miscellaneous things standing up, I can put in there as well. And then I want another shelf. So I'll kind of put this shelf in first, and then I'll divide the difference. So I can actually have a shelf in between to be able to store all the fire bricks, any miscellaneous tools, any crucibles, anything like that, molds, things like that. Be able to put everything, so I can use all of this for that. So we're going to use this, recycle it, make some shelves, clean this up a little bit, see what it looks like. So what you're going to see me do first is I'm actually just going to cut this here and here. I don't need this. I'm just needing the sides. And then I'll actually cut down the middle so we can work it. I'll make one quick cut, and then we'll actually get precise on cutting, making the second cut and a little bit more. But let's make this a little more manageable to start with. All right, so how we're gonna do this, I got a front edge right here. It's pretty decent. It's a little beat up right here. That's okay. We'll bend that straight a little bit better. Clean this up from where I grind it, where I cut it off, so it's not sharp edges. But I also got a good end over here. So we'll use this end over here to be one of the sides. And then I'll cut it off here and bend it to create the other one. So what we have to do first is figure out our distance. I'm marking 31.5. Same over here. And then we're going to get us a straight edge. All right, this board will work. Again, all I'm doing is just putting it on the insides. Now, I do have feet in there that might get in the way a little bit, so we might have to take that out. So we made our lines, and now I'm going to cut this edge over here What we're going to do here is I'll actually cut this off here and here. All right, so this will be able to fold up. Same thing here. Over here, I'll cut this same as we did the other corner there, so this is able to fold up. And then we'll cut the corners, okay? Not cutting this line. This is the line to be able to show us what we're going to bend to, but we'll cut the corners and then show you how we're going to set up for an actual to be able to bend it. Now we got that cut, I'll show you how we bend, and then we'll cut the next one. So what I'm doing here is I got a piece of metal. I'm actually going to cut it. Reason being is so it can fit right here. I can clamp it down on top of this and bend this up. Gives me an opportunity to bend this so we actually make some flat surfaces. I'll do the same with the side there. But I want this to be able to fit inside. And we'll do the short side first so I don't have to worry about this impacting. Once this is up, then I need a piece inside there. So I was just trying to go slowly over the top. I stopped when I saw this starting to bend. There we go.
Here I'm actually clamping the metal I just cut down onto the table with the shelf in between so we can actually use it to bend the shelf up.
Essentially, what a metal brake does is it does this. It just folds the metal in half. So that's what we're trying to do. Just lift underneath, pressure all the way across. Go a little farther. There we go. Perfect. It's actually a pretty good edge. It'll work great for what we needed. Do the same with this last side. There we go. Same thing. Oops. So it's not that big of a deal. This is a little thick. Want to make sure it's on the inside so this is not catching on it. Same with that side, we're good. Now, this might not bend all the way because these tabs are going to hit, and you want to really overbend and it's going to go back into place. So, I'm good there. A couple different things you can do. Hit it with a hammer right off the bat. We got a little shelf, okay? It's not perfect, but it will hold. We'll drill holes in the side here, in the back, and on this side, and that'll hold it into place, all right?
I'll build the second shelf off camera and we'll now go on to the next step of the process.
All right, so now what I'm going to do from a shelf standpoint, I know this is going to fit inside there. I basically want to drill some holes here. When I drill the holes here, I'll then go and actually mark a couple holes inside, bolt this in a couple holes, and then from the inside drill the rest of the holes all the way out to go through the metal on the sides. But I really got to get my pilot holes here instead of trying to drill them both from the inside. And basically how I'm going to do that is I know I'm going to put 3 bolts here, here, and here on each side. And I'm going to do 4 across the back. I could probably go with 3 because of this here. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just go with 3. So the big question is, how am I going to determine how high up? So I want this first one at about 30, the top of it about 30. And the reason being is I want these to fit inside. These are about 13. And then when you got to stack the next one on top, fit it inside. So really I only need about 26 from here. It would work, but just to make sure they got plenty of room. And we've got about 50, this top shelf, about 7-8 inches on the inside. So, and we've got about 58 up here. If I take 30 out, and I could go 28. Well, let's go 30 to the top. We go 14 inches. We'll have plenty of room. What I put on the inside there were magnets. I use them for welding. Hopefully they're strong enough to help me hold this shelf up. And really, we'll get this shelf in place. We'll mark it. We'll mark some of the holes, just a couple of the holes. And then I'll actually drill those holes, get it in place, mark the other holes, and go from there. All right, back again, finish up this project. Most of it's done. We got this old cabinet here. Basically gonna modify it to hold some of my forging supplies. You see it's got a shelf in here, but it's wide open. We wanted to put a couple more shelves in here so you guys seen us drill some holes, build some shelves, then drill some holes, line everything up. Now what we're gonna do is clean these up, paint them, get everything installed, show you a little bit of the process and the final product. Here it is after it's painted. All we have to do is add some shelves. See you shortly.
Here I'm just lining the shelves, putting the nuts and bolts in it, running the bolts from the outside in, putting the nuts on the inside. So just fast forwarding through this, but it's really what I'm doing on the first shelf. I'll put the second shelf in, do the exact same thing. And it's just lining it up and putting them through. All right, got it together?
got the shelves in. This is going to what it looks like empty, and I'll show you what it put in its place and everything inside of it. 2 shelves, everything painted up. Going to put some carpeting in the bottom, but this is a shelf that I had laying around, wasn't doing anything with. Made a couple shelves for it out of recycling material. You can do it. Just a project that we did in the shop. Thought I'd show you. All right. Finally completed with this project. I showed you as an old cabinet we had. I wanted to add a couple extra shelves in it. We actually cleaned it up a little bit, painted it. Let me show you what it looks like. Pull this open. Actually found out there's some holders that we can actually put some extra shelves on. I've put a few on. We'll see how we do if we want to put more on down the door to hold it. I was able to put my sand at the bottom. Crucibles in here, some of the actual stone, firestones, different tools, molds, gloves, all the different tools in these. Able to fit in this cabinet. I can keep it all in this corner. I got it all in one place. Trying to organize things, but also trying to show you guys you can just take something old, recycle it, make it into exactly what you need, and this fits exactly what I needed this for. So again, like this channel, go out there and subscribe. Our dream, our purpose. Hope you enjoyed it.